Hello again, Mark.
Hello, Drew.
Welcome to episode 2. I suppose another week later.
Cruise control.
Cruise control? Is that? What do you mean?
Right.
Oh, I'm already confused.
You've heard of the film Speed?
Yes.
There's a sequel called Speed 2, and its subtitle is
Cruise control. Okay.
So
I didn't know that.
Podcast 2, Cruise control.
Okay.
I'll get
That's
into
fine.
it.
No, I didn't know that.
No, this is something we're learning about each other, isn't
Yes,
it?
I think a lot about us.
Hello.
Anyway, a few things I guess I'd like to say about last episode. Now, having listened back to it, I made a lot of mistakes, and I just want to get those out there. I said Monopoly Go instead of Monopoly Deal. That's what the actual card game's called. I said Gandalf goes to the east and not the west, and then I said Uncle Ben when it's clearly Ben Kenobi. So like, I think it was just
at the time on that one.
I think it was first episode nerves, but of course we're going to make mistakes all the time. I'd like to also tell listeners that after having discussed Mark's favourite movie, I went upstairs in his house, and on the staircase is, I'd say, an A0 poster of Flash Gordon.
A0?
A0? It's big. It is big.
Oh, I see what you're saying. It's. I can't remember the terminology, but it is one that it would have been out in a cinema somewhere.
It was a cinema style.
No, not style. This is from a cinema.
Okay, wow.
I had a friend who used to get hold of cinema posters and generously gave me one for a present one year of my favourite movie.
Your favourite movie?
Yes.
Well, that made it very clear that it was your favourite movie, having gone up the stairs. I thought it was very fun.
Well, no spoilers. In fact, thankfully you didn't go up the stairs
beforehand, yes.
Before the podcast.
Anyway, well, let's talk about the week we've just had. How was your week, Mark?
Well, it was good. I started off the week going to the pictures.
Yes, very
That's
good.
a cinema.
Yes,
for younger viewers. Oh yes, and I made a mistake last week that Drew quite rightly pointed out, which I was trying to show him a book cover on a podcast. Well done, mate.
That's fine.
It's
we
fine.
all make mistakes.
It's fine.
I'm sure it's fine, really. No, it's fine, really.
So yeah, Superman.
Yeah. How was it?
It was good. I've been thinking about this for a while now. It's actually having my own rating system.
Oh, we're going to have a Mark rating system. Very exciting.
Because, you always have these things, 10 out of 10, and I think sometimes it feels a bit meaningless. 7.5 out of 10.
I agree. It doesn't give any complexity.
So, I've come up with my own rating system. So the question is, really, did I love it? Mm-hmm. Did I like it? Mm-hmm. Did I meh it? Mm-hmm. Or did I actually hate it?
Okay.
So there's 4 ratings.
Yes.
There can't be any middle ground.
There's anger, ambivalent, liked and loved, really.
Yeah. So, and, well, when it comes to Superman, I liked it. I wanted to love it.
Okay.
I'm not a massive Superman fan. I do own the original Christopher Lee. That would be a Superman, wouldn't it?
I don't know who Christopher Lee is. Oh my god, I'm already Googling people.
Here we go again.
This is fine now. You can tell me I'm a
Let me think. You are a viewer of the Lord of the Rings films.
Oh, yes, Christopher Lee, yes. No, that would be a Superman film. Yes. Having just Googled his face.
You've got his face now. Excellent.
I'm very much a face guy. Names means very little to me. So, but yes, that would be a Superman film.
It'd be confusing because he's also played Dracula.
So
you'd have a Superman of the undead, perhaps. So, yeah, I have the Christopher Lee movies on DVD somewhere. I quite enjoy The Man of Steel with Henry Cavill.
Henry Cavill, yeah.
There's things I like about it. I liked Cavill as a Superman, but it didn't sell me Superman. So my hope with this new one was a different take on it. Mm-hmm. And I got out of it the hope, the positivity, the
optimism.
Optimism, yes, that's a good
Superman.
word.
Yes, I know what you mean. It's trying to be the best of humanity vibe.
He's a good guy trying to do everything he can to do right by people. And I always felt it was something missing by having him kill Zod in The Man of Steel. He should have been captured, should have been put into the Phantom Zone and all these other
people
things.
want to add new edges to people, right? They want to add like this super depth and complexity.
Yeah.
But sometimes I think it is good just to have they're just the good guy, right? You know?
Just something positive. And then especially in this day and age with what's going on out in the world today, having something to enjoy for somebody being good and doing the right thing each time. Other highs were in there. You know, I think the actors were brilliant. The cast were fantastic. Lex, Superman, Lois, Mr. Terrific. There was a lot of humour that felt natural. A lot of the time, it could be a bit shoehorned in.
One of the most shoehorned in bit of comedy I've ever seen in a movie, and I'll never forget it, was in Moana 2. Maui, I don't know what it is, but he I think he's got like a shell that can communicate to someone or something, and he accidentally calls someone, and he goes, "Haha, butt dial," and then pans to camera and goes, "You'll understand that in 1,000 years." And I don't know how that got past many groups of people, because it's Disney, so they'll have gone through like focus groups and made it, but it was the worst joke ever. It was actively bad.
Well, there's a precedent to it, isn't there, with Aladdin? Aladdin had a few of those kind of jokes. I can't remember.
No, but it was so deadpan and it felt so shoehorned in and completely detracted from the movie, because the movie's quite serious in some respects, and it completely detracted from that.
I suppose the argument could be that what was his character name?
Maui?
Maui, yeah. That's not his character. Whereas Aladdin, the whole thing of the genie was doing, saying crazy stuff. He's wacky. He's out
the
there.
Comic relief intentionally.
He's always breaking the fourth wall throughout that. Yeah. So, but Maui wasn't so much that kind of.
He's a serious character in some aspects. And it's a serious world. Like the Aladdin's, it has jokes in it. It's a bit more lighthearted, I would say.
Yeah.
Yes, that was my thing. It's the one thing of comedy.
And, especially it's a more direct comparison. Things like the Marvel movies. Everybody's quipping. Everybody's saying something smart and sassy. And it's like, would everybody speak that way? Some people are going to be drier than others. Some people aren't going to be humorous at all, and not in that kind of deadpan way where you've got. Yeah,
it's not serious because it's not funny because it's too serious, right?
Yeah. And so and it didn't affect the story. These humorous moments, they were just kind of things that people are saying in more serious moments of danger, but trying to jolly themselves along. It felt right. The music was good. It used a lot of the John Williams score from the Christopher Reeve movies, but it was a new take on it. Not as good, but it still gave me some upbeats that were quite good. And it was colourful. I was talking about this last week, wasn't I? About films that are colourful. It was bright. They go to some.
Was it not just colourful? Was it though artistically colourful, rather than just having vibrant colours everywhere? Was it a pop of colour everywhere kind of thing?
No, I don't. It didn't feel like it was. Like the Guardians of the Galaxy world is really bright, isn't it?
Yeah. It's very pop culture-y,
It wasn't.
It feels more comic booky.
It wasn't unnatural to the universe itself. People lived in Metropolis. They got about and stuff, but it was bright. It wasn't dark, dingy corridors. Even this kind of this alternate world that they. I'm going to get this wrong. I can't remember. That basically the villain has a place that he can go outside of our universe. Yeah. But there was a lot of colour in that as well.
Okay.
Which was really nice, even though it was darker.
Visually contrasting and
stuff.
stuff.
And the last thing I had for Heist was it felt like a part of a bigger universe. You had this feel that it was a broad stroke to what was going on. Now, when it comes to lows, it's Crypto, the dog.
People say the dog.
It's far too much of it. If it was a little bit of it, and a couple of scenes, and it was, went off on its own mission and did something else, I would have been a lot happier. It just felt like it was everywhere, and it wasn't just a stoic, heroic dog, which I've seen cartoons with Crypto and stuff like that, and it's just a good dog. Whereas this Crypto was a manic ball of fur, and it would bite Superman every last minute, and it drove me nuts. It's like, okay, we've done that thing now.
You've done that joke. Yeah.
Let's move past it.
Did that feel shoehorned in?
It felt like somebody really liked.
really wanted the dog. There's one guy in the board meeting. He's like, guys, we thought about the dog in this scene.
And And yeah, I think it could have been dialed down a bit, and also that typical thing of movies in this century.
Oh, wow. In this century, okay.
Is villains and heroes fighting out, and it's just after a while you get so tired.
Doing the fights too long.
Yeah, just bashing back and forwards, and it's like there's no. After a while, you don't see any. It's pointless.
Okay.
It could be a lot more.
I know you could. It's just for the sake of having a big fight at the end, kind of thing.
Yeah. And the last point for the lows was the invasion of made-up land. I can't even remember the name of the two countries that Superman had got involved with, and that's what was the structure for it.
Were they politically ambiguous, but clearly like reflecting some other place?
Well, no, even that I was just like I couldn't tell. Are they Eastern European? Are they Western Asian? It was really undefined where it was meant to be in the world. And the villains, the one country was more, I don't know, closer to a Russian kind of thing, I think, and the other one felt more like Afghanistan. I suppose that's a real life thing.
It was like because like in as we in Marvel films, it's very clear where places are meant to be, right? Like Wakanda, which is
made up, but still
it's
they
very,
put it in the world.
They put it in the world. It's very clear where that's meant to represent, and then they have where Wanda's from. Oh, I keep forgetting where that is.
Oh God, it's
which is clear. It's clear
clearly
Eastern European in some.
It's a lot stronger identity, whereas these two countries purely. Bleh.
Yeah, just somewhere. It could be anywhere.
And the scenario. I'm not giving too much away by this. By saying that the bad country had lots of military, they'd bought weapons from Lex Luthor, and they were more organised. And then there was just a dirt quarry field area where the peasant people of the other country just hung out with pitchforks and knives. It just felt like this isn't real. This is not how countries go to war.
Anything happens, yeah.
If there is one country that is lesser in terms of, I say lesser in terms of military build-up, it's just going to be a bit more of a militia with, trucks and guns. They're like AK-47s or something, and it won't be children and old men. It will be. There'll still be real fighters for them. It just made it really. Ugh. But yeah, just to recap, because I've gone on a bit here.
That's fine.
It was. I really liked it. I've got a lot more hope now for where the DC universe can go. Mm-hmm. I didn't mind the Snyder films, but it wasn't the kind of Superman that I wanted. It wasn't the kind of Batman I wanted. Though I would like to have seen a Ben Affleck Batman movie, just to give him a proper chance at it. Anyway. Sorry,
that's good. So that was a liked. Your rating of 4.
If my rating of 4
with a deep analysis. That's very good. No, it's good analysis. I enjoyed it. It's very deep. I didn't feel like I've come nearly prepared for any of the talking points I've brought.
Have you brought any Pokemon?
Well, I have not brought any Pokemon. So, me and Jess, it's hot. So we did, as you know, I got some Pokemon packs. I got white Flare and Black Bolts. So amazingly, I was able to get 4 packs. And of 4 packs, we got 3 illustrations, full art illustrations.
Okay.
We've got a Samurott, we've got a Vanillish, and then we got a... I can never say this name. Diocyon. It's really hard to say. Does it say which Pokemon is on there, on the card? It normally says which Pokedex entry it is. It doesn't say immediately on my phone. But yes, I'll just quickly show those to Mark so he can go, ooh, very nice. So that's Vanillish, which is an ice cream Pokemon.
An ice cream one? No, I've never seen that one before.
Okay, we've got Samurott, which is one of the starter Pokemon.
What's that on his head? Is that
it's like a
drill?
sword thing. He's meant to be like a ninja sea lion. And then we have... How would you say that? I can't even tell you that.
Diocyon.
Jess would tell me how to say that. But anyway, those are... So for 4 packs, 3 full arts. Not bad, actually. Not bad. For some people, some of my friends were saying there's a pretty good pull rates.
So when you said this was you managed to get hold of 4 packs.
Yeah.
The way you said that was unusual.
That is unusual.
How many would you normally get?
Well, no. So it's quite. So when a new set releases, which this was, sometimes it's really hard to get some packs. So when I went down to Thompson's, which is right near our work, pretty much straight after work.
Thompson's? Where's
Thompson's? It's next to Pure Gym. You know, just around the corner in the industrial estate.
Smith's.
Smith's. Is it Smith's? Sorry, it's Smith's.
Thompson's? What's Thompson's?
Thompson's the toy store. It's on the. Isn't Thompson's? Actually, Thompson's is the one on the main high street. We live in Exeter. It's the one on Carrick Street.
The one on Carrick Street. Okay, yeah, I know that.
Yeah, so
one.
I went to Smith's. And they had a maximum you could buy of tins. And you can't buy individual booster packs right now. You have to buy tins, which comes with 2 packs in it. So, and then I went to Argos today.
Yeah.
Because we did our weekly food shop, and Argos normally has a few packs. And I went.
So you didn't buy any food?
Just bought pack. No, they're all sold out. Completely sold out.
Wow.
And
okay, that's you see, gentle listener. Let's
be optimistic.
Yeah, gentle listener, if you're there. I found it amazing. There used to be a time when I worked in a video games.
Game on the high street.
Game on the high street. I used to work in one of those many years ago, and it always felt like there was a bit of a thing for Pokemon at that point, but never the point we ever really truly sold out. Nothing crazy like that.
It's getting that way.
And this is what 10, 15 years later.
Well, it has become more popular again.
Yeah.
You know, it's become more popular. But we have what we do is we keep a little stock of it anyway. So we have what's called an ETB. So you have 2 ETBs, which are Elite Trainer boxes.
Right.
Which have loads of packs in them, but we're saving those for another day.
Oh, so you're not going to look at those?
We're going to keep those for another day because we just want to...
So
we will open them. We will open them. We're not scalping.
No, I know. But I'm just fascinated by the idea you bought this thing and you're not going to take the enjoyment that can come. That's incredible.
Sometimes, actually, it's just owning the thing and knowing there's packs.
It's there.
It's like having... You know, when you have like you get your... It's gambling.
No, it is gambling.
It is gambling. But like, you know when you get your lottery ticket and you're like excited. You know the possibilities there, right? It's kind of the same with the Pokemon. The possibilities in there, right? Of some great cards.
I suppose once the lottery number's been called, that's just a piece of paper.
Yeah.
It's unless those numbers match, it's meaningless.
It's meaningless, yeah. So the possibility in the box is amazing.
Sat at home right now is more possibility for you. So rather than hit that,
and I can look at that possibility in the corner of the room and go, yeah, some good possibility.
It just makes you think of that old, the 1970s Charlie in the Chocolate Factory, where Charlie would savour this 1 bar of chocolate that he could buy like once a year, and hoping that there would be a golden ticket there. And then it was, I want to say Veruca Salt, but I think she was the one that had the dad.
He just bought
all of them.
Yeah.
And it had all his shop staff just opening chocolate bars.
Yeah.
But I really respect that in you to be able to buy something and put it aside and savour it for later.
So actually with that, so there are people who do analytics on these cards. So what they'll do is they buy loads of packs. Like I think they bought 700 packs, and then they run the analytics. So they open them all and see how many of each card they got, and so they can figure out the pull rates. They can figure out what percentage of cards, or how likely are you to get cards. Now there are 2 cards in the set they couldn't give you a statistic for because they didn't get them out of 700 packs.
Wow. Okay,
and
there's some good maths there.
That is
insane. To think that
you could have something that's incredibly rare.
There are some very, very rare ones. There's like a red Victini, which is very, very rare. But like, yeah, so that's something we did. I also went to, in a little sneaky impromptu date with Jess, I went to see the new Fantastic Four. Yeah.
Wow.
Or if we're using your scale, I'm going to go with the high end of like.
No. Like I explained to you.
Okay, like.
This
I'll go with like.
out this whole thing with dubious 7.5.
No, that's fine. I'll give it a like then.
No, like.
It's in the strong like category. I think visually it was very good. So it's in a different universe, in the Marvel, multiverse.
Alternative.
It's in an alternative world.
Yeah.
And it's more of that like, like when they had like in the 1970s what the future's going to look like, and they're like cars would have like bubble domes on them.
Yeah.
And everything was still CRTs, but like really fancy looking CRTs. And like all that, they've really leaned into that look.
It's a retro future.
And but like they don't like explicitly like mention that hard. It's just there in the visuals. It looks really nice.
is the time period of it meant to be equal to our own? Have they?
No, it's still set in the past, but it's set in a very optimistic.
Yes,
kind of, like everything's going well. And
I was wondering if they just like with Fallout, which is set in our future, but it's taken from a different past to get there.
Yeah, together, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's set in a bit in the past, but like with a futuristic take. So maybe in the 1990s, but with what the 1970s thought the 1990s would look like. I think is my guess of what that's trying to be. But it's really good. It actually goes back to your thing of Superman, where it's all just really optimistic.
Oh,
all the people are just good people, you know? They're not trying to, like, of course they have troubles and difficulties. Not troubles, they have difficulties. They've got things to overcome, but they are just good people. And Pedro Pascal, I think, plays a really good Mr. Incredible.
Okay.
Is that Mr. Incredible? Mr. Fantastic.
Mr. Fantastic.
Mr. Fantastic, yes. And then, I've forgotten the woman who plays Mrs. Fantastic. But she does a really good job. And it's a lot, you know, the film, they pack a lot in that film. I think it's a fantastic film, and I think it's really worth a watch. Is it like a standout? Probably in the new era of Marvel, I'd say it's absolutely a standout. But like, it's not.
Yeah, how would you if you were to place it in, you know, like the early first 3 Avenger movies within that timeline?
I'd say it's. I remember when I thought Civil War was like the best, right? And I think it's not as good as Civil War, but it's getting close. I think it's really good to think of it actually separate from the Marvel. It doesn't feel anything like all the other Marvel universe films.
But that's because it's in a
it's just them.
Timeline.
It's just them, and actually there's, you know, it's not spoiled to say there's no one else.
There's no one else in it. Okay.
Well, yeah, there's no like. It's just the Fantastic Four. They're not trying. It's quite refreshing to have a not crossover. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
everything at the moment has something.
Another character.
Even if it never comes to any fruition.
Yeah.
It was Vanessa Kirby was the Sue Storm. Is that who you meant?
Not Silver Surfer.
No, Sue Storm.
Oh, Sue Storm. Yes.
Vanessa Kirby. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the Silver Surfer obviously was a female.
Yeah.
Really good. I thought it was good.
Yeah, because in the previous ones, I think it was voiced by Morpheus from.
Oh yeah.
Oh gosh.
From Matrix.
Matrix films.
Yeah.
Oh god, my brain has just completely gone on him.
I know the man you mean.
Yeah, you know the guy I mean,
yeah.
And I think everybody else does too.
Hopefully they do.
Please write in and let me
They're
know.
going to shout at us for not knowing these people.
I'm not going to use the
fine.
internet anymore to look up names.
Yeah. If we don't know names, we're terrible at names, so that's fine. But yeah, no, I think actually overall it's worth a watch. Worth a watch in cinemas.
Yeah, no, I'm hoping in the next week. That was going to be my what am I watching next week?
Well, it'd be good to hear your thoughts.
Yeah,
well.
I'm definitely excited about it. Are you planning to see Superman at any point?
No, I don't think I will.
Okay.
Your review's good, but I'll watch it probably at home. I'm not the biggest Superman fan. I like the idea of Superman, but I think...
Which of the DC characters would you be interested in seeing?
I don't know off the top of my head. I quite liked X-Men, because there's a bit more...
That's Marvel, just...
Oh shit, it is, yeah, sorry. Oh god, sorry. Oh my gosh. Why did I think X-Men?
I
was thinking of Justice League, sorry. I was thinking of Justice League and their whole group. And I was just like, it's the same. Of course it's not.
And that's something in there.
Oh, what a mistake. I'm making so many stumbles. Oh, goodness.
Well, that was another thing about Superman. They had the Justice League, which were really... They were a lot of fun. You had the Green Lantern, Mr. Fantastic, and Hawkgirl. And they were all pretty cool.
Oh, Hawkgirl. Yeah.
There was a lot of fun in what they were up to. You start to wonder where the others are, you know.
There's a lot of... I think there's lesser characters that I find more interesting. Like Captain Marvel's fine, and like Iron Man's fine, but I always find it's the lesser characters who are more interesting personally to me.
Well, that's interesting because the reason why it was Iron Man that kind of relaunched the Marvel Universe was because he was one of the lesser known
characters
in the broader...
In the multiverse?
Not in the multiverse, in real world. The mainstream. In the mainstream, that's it, pop culture. That Iron Man wasn't as known as the other ones. You know, the main ones were Spider-Man.
And Hulk.
And the Hulk, yeah. So, you know, even Captain America was one of the small ones, especially because of... You know,
yeah, Captain America is small in my mind, yeah. Not one of the big Avengers, it's absolutely Spider-Man and Wolverine and...
Yeah, all the X-Men were big, and that's why they were the ones that, you know, started...
Got their movies first, I suppose. Oh, they were some good films, those old films. Anyway, we're getting off track. Well, that was good. Well, I guess we get into the body of the podcast now.
Well, yeah, last week you got to drill down into a lot of the things I was interested in. to get an idea of who I am. So I've got some questions for you.
I've been predicting these questions all week. I'm going to be honest, and I've been thinking of answers, but then I thought I shan't think too hard on answers because that could.
Yeah, I've kept a lot of what you originally planned out, but I've got a few other ones just out of you know. Anyway, should we begin?
Let's go. Okay. For it. Hit me with the first question.
What was your favourite film from before you were born? Which I think is 1996.
It is 1996. Yeah, 96. I'm going to have to look up, because my favourite film might have been before I was born, actually. It's bad that my favourite film, I don't know the date it was done, but I'm going to have to use the laptop. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, Tom can edit this out.
Yeah,
Producer Tom can.
Producer Tom, silence us. Skip through.
Well, maybe it's interesting listening to us ramble on. No, that's a very recent film. I did not think that. No, we'll talk about that one later, I'm sure. God, I'm going to have to look at a list of films.
You weren't expecting that.
I really wasn't. Well, there's just a list here of pre-1990s. Goodfella, Home Alone, Beauty and the Beast, Reservoir Dogs, Aladdin, Jurassic Park, Schindler's List, Lion King, Forrest Gump, Toy Story, the year before my birth. That's crazy to think.
That's shocking.
That is shocking, isn't it?
That was shocking. For my... Oh, God. That's 95. I would have got a Buzz Lightyear for like my 19th birthday or something like that, soon after the film came out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was a really big fan of that when it first came out. I love Buzz Lightyear as a character. I even dressed up as him for a New Year's. This is before all this cosplay business.
Okay.
Makes things.
It wasn't cosplay back in your day. Do you think cosplaying has become a big... Like, it's changed, I guess. Because you just used to dress up, but now it's like a thing, right?
Yeah. You trying to make yourself look a little bit like the character you had on the meagre resources you had. And now it seems like these people should be designing costumes for feature films.
They're really good. You get paid a lot of money to do it.
There was I with a roll of sellotape and some cardboard, making a Buzz Lightyear costume.
Okay. Yeah. Well. Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know what my favourite film is pre-date. Oh dear.
Can I suggest any of the Star Wars movies that came out before that?
What do I want to say? Oh wait. Hold on.
Oh, we might have a winner here, folks.
No, it's a year after I was born.
What film was this then?
It's a really good film, and actually I think a lot of my whimsy and character comes from this. But it's Austin Powers.
It's not
a very serious film, but it's a great Mike Myers film.
It is a great.
It's a great Mike Myers film. I don't mind the original Star Wars. They're good. I think the world they make is fantastic. Having watched them back, they're good. No, they're good. But I'm just trying to see if there's any films that I think are better. There might be a film that's more standout. I might just go Toy Story, actually, because I remember Toy Story fondly as a kid. I don't watch much. Looking through this list, I don't watch much from before 1996, which surprises me. Or I don't have great opinions.
Well,
there's a lot of stuff. Actually, there's a lot of stuff just past when I was born that is good, actually. Like Matrix 1999 here.
Yeah.
Austin Powers, like I said. Lion King 1994, that's just after I was born. Yeah.
E.T. Extraterrestrial 1982.
I think that says a lot about me, but there's not a lot of films, I think, before I was born that I'm particularly interested in.
That is an interesting thing. Do you think that's more about you or more about your generation?
I think it's probably me coming into this blind and not having looked at every single date of every film I've ever liked.
Yeah.
Which is fair enough. But I think there's probably a few films. Actually, there's another one here I saw, which is probably a prelude to some other films, but Princess Mononoke was announced 1997. Again, just after I was born. So yeah, there's a few films, but they're mainly just around the time I was born.
I was going to suggest
Truman Show 1998.
I know you've said in the past to me that
no, I don't like. I'm not a huge fan of the Alien films. I like the universe. No, it's
Goonies.
These are all pretty.
Die Hard.
Die Hard's a good film. Again, these are all just good films.
Okay, well maybe we might.
They're not great
call
films.
It Toy Story.
Toy Story, I suppose.
But I think this is an interesting thing because if you were to have asked me the same question, I could have listed off countless films that I would have had to fight over to decide.
But could you? Okay, so could you name films, a good like say 5 or 6 films from before you were born that you love?
Well, Godfather is one of those films you've already mentioned.
But is it like a standout film in your life?
It's absolutely stand out. It's a film I used to sit and watch with my nan, for one thing. It was one thing that we had in common is watching these kind of gangster movies.
Okay.
Obviously the Godfather trilogy. Don't watch the third one. I don't get it. But then there was things like Goodfellas. It was a really strange time in my life to be able to sit with my nan and watch these really violent films. But they had story. They had character. There's Once Upon a Time in New York. No, in America. Sorry, Once Upon a Time in America, which has James Ward, Robert De Niro. Fantastic crime drama. It's like over 3 hours long, and it details this story of these children that grow up on the mean streets of New York, become gangsters themselves, and the tragic ends that happen to them all. There's The Deer Hunter with Robert De Niro. It's a lot of Robert De Niro here.
There's a lot of Robert De Niro.
Christopher Walken. Maybe that wasn't before. Oh no, that wasn't. That was 80s. Forget me.
Well, it's actually really interesting. I'm as you're saying this, I'm still scrolling through the list, and a lot of these I'm like, that's a great film, and it's like 1996. That's a great film, 1997. Great film, 1998. And actually, so it's like, apparently, I just decided to like films after Jurassic Park. Actually, Jurassic Park was before I was born.
Was that 95?
Let me see if it's on this list of films in the 90s. It must be. That's a good one. I think Jess would be upset if I didn't say Jurassic Park. She loves it, and I totally get why she loves it, because I think for its time the animatronics
93. There you go. That's a good film.
That's a great film, actually.
That is a fantastic film to watch.
The music actually is also really, really good. Actually,
yeah. Another John Williams.
It's another John Williams. I mean, Toy Story was pretty good. I think for the animatronics, I think for the artistic stuff of what Jurassic Park did,
and it was early CGI.
It was a bit of early CGI, but there was also animatronic.
There was animatronic, but they originally planned to use stop motion.
Oh, what for the
dinosaurs?
okay.
And the same guy that did a lot of the Star Wars stop motion that was in that, Phil Tippett, and but they, I think it was like Industrial Light and Magic. They went, no, we can. Let us have a go, and they did some of it. Yeah, there was a ton of practical effects. They had men in raptor suits, didn't they?
Okay. Well, yeah, no, but I think I'm going to go with that one actually.
Okay.
Right. That was that was a very disappointing off to this interview.
Well, so the next question should be easy for you, which is the same again, but after you were born.
Well, this is actually quite easy because I've been thinking about this a lot this week, and I think my favourite film, really of all time, is a Studio Ghibli film. It was always going to be a Studio Ghibli film, but it's When Marnie Was There. Is it When Marnie Was Here or When Marnie Was There?
Oh God!
When Marnie Was There, yeah.
When Marnie Was There.
It's a really not very much. It's not a big one. What's it got on ratings? Rotten Tomatoes puts it at 92, and IMDb puts it at 7.6 on the arbitrary ratings. I love this film. I think it encapsulates everything that's really good about Studio Ghibli film, which is meant to be peaceful and calmful. Every Studio Ghibli film, pretty much. There's a few, maybe not, but I always want to live in the worlds because the worlds look beautiful and they look so fantastical, and the ideas about how magic works, or like this is how spirits are, and like everything just seems fantastical and people seem great. I think When Marnie Is There is a really good film for calm and peace. Yeah, but also it's got like a mystery.
What's the brief synopsis of the plot?
The brief synopsis is there's a girl who's struggling with her school, and she lives in a city with her mum. So she goes to live in the countryside with her aunt, I think, aunt and uncle. And it's kind of like her experience is now living kind of, she needs to decompress, I guess, basically, and she's had some illness. So she's like living in the countryside, and then there's like a mansion, and there's a mysterious girl, same age, who she meets. And it's kind of like the mystery behind who is this girl and what's going on. And like, also just life.
Yeah.
A lot of Studio Ghibli films kind of just like there's obviously a main storyline, but there's also like just like things just happen, and there's like characters, and it's not like a lot of storylines aren't really like storylines. It's just people interacting with people in very wholesome ways. And I really enjoy that, and I think it is. And at the end, I always cry at the end because it's mega wholesome at the end, and it just is like a real happy film, like a bittersweet film, but it's also just got happiness and calm, and that's just everything I want in like a film. And I think it's just I have to watch it again after this.
Would you say that because that leads on to the next question that you had last week was what movie that made you cry the best?
Yeah, no, it's definitely that. Oh yeah, at the end when it's like there's kind of a bit of a reveal at the end to everything that's going on, and like learning that story is like, oof, like it hits hard.
Was it your first Studio Ghibli film?
No, my first Studio Ghibli film was Spirited Away, and I remember it really distinctly. Because that's the big one.
It was the first one that really hit mainstream.
I think it won some awards.
Yes.
So that's what made it big. But I remember I was around. My parents had taken me to one of their friends' house. He wasn't like didn't have kids, and like we're in London. He was like a cool jazz guy or whatever. I think I remember this because he had like a saxophone that I once broke by accident. It was really bad.
Yeah.
But
were you trying to play it?
No. We were throwing like pillows around
in
in his house, and one of them hit the saxophone and like fell off its stand, and we like tried to cover it up, but like failed miserably. But he didn't have like kids films, but he did have
Spirited
Away.
Yeah.
So he put that on for us, and I remember watching it and just being like, "This is crazy." And like I think as a kid, it's interesting because with Spirited Away, made my friend watch it. He's a film guy. And I think when you're older, sometimes it's harder to watch a Studio Ghibli film because you're like, what is going on? What is anything? And you just got to like suspend any kind of like, these are the rules. There's no rules in a Studio Ghibli film. It's just like, whatever goes. It's like, of course, this is the radish spirit, right?
Yeah.
And of course, like, if they steal your name, then you have no power. Like, this kind of stuff.
Before Studio Ghibli came out, I was aware of Studio Ghibli. I'd seen... my first Studio Ghibli film was Castle in the Sky.
Yeah, La Pizza. Really good film.
Yeah, of course, there's 2 titles, isn't there? And that's for me still my favourite. My introduction to the worlds of Ghibli, and also just the flying in it. The other one that
he does airships really well.
Yeah,
the whole airships always feel fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. I wanted to be in one of those planes. I wanted to be in the airships. I wanted to be over that landscape, and
it looks pretty.
It's really pretty.
You always want to be there because it looks better than real life. And sometimes in a film, you watch a film, you're like, "That's great," and you're like, "Would you live there?" No, I would never live in that universe. It looks horrible.
That grim dark versus this, optimism.
But even in dark, I guess there is optimism. But even in like the darker bits of the film, it always looks just fantastic.
Yeah.
Like,
well, the other one I like is Porco Rosso, which again another one about flying it, and you can see the love affair that the creators are having with
the movie,
because
you have to draw.
They
really care about everything, and it's so clear the whole way through all the films that or when they do care, it's so clear,
But my original point is that I find it hard to sit down to the ones I haven't seen.
Yeah.
Now, as I've got older, I Spirited Away, I saw that at the cinema. I loved it. Watched it many times since then, and I could go back to all the ones I've seen before. But sitting down now to try and watch, what was the one with the creature,
Ponyo.
the fish Ponyo.
Ponyo.
I really tried to sit down and watch it one day, and I became very distracted very quickly.
Ponyo is okay. It's not the best one. Have you seen Howl's Moving Castle at least?
No.
Again,
another one. That
I think really because I think that's got the most coherent storyline the whole way through. I think, and I think it's the most kind of, I guess, like typical in terms of a storyline and its characters, and they do the things, and it's like an obvious storyline, linear.
You've got to really focus because it like you said about you've got to believe there's a turnip god there.
Yeah, you just got to believe this is how this happens.
Yeah, you've got to accept that, and each film is a different kind of world and different rules and different things, and because it's come from, Japan, it's already got a different take on whatever, even what you would think was a normal story. Wasn't there a borrower's version?
There's a borrower's. Yeah, that's a really good film. I enjoyed that.
The clips I saw of that, it was like, this is different than what you traditionally see on the BBC or something.
Yeah.
So it's something that I wish I had more time for, because anime in general I don't watch as much as I used to, and I think overall there's some amazing worlds built in them.
Yeah, I mean The Boy and the Heron, which is the latest one, which I have seen several times now. Oh, it's really good. I think also he has a really good the whole Miyazaki thing of like films can be a little slower. I quite like that. There's like a lot of scenes that are just like pauses.
Yeah.
And they feel really good actually, and like it makes it feel like in modern films everything's got to happen constantly. It's got to be a thing happening. There's like big pauses and that feels really nice, and things feel calm. And with the new one, I think the storyline isn't great, but the world, again, you do the magical thing and just gotta. That's how the magic works, and we're all just cool with that. There's a lot of that.
There's
a
a
lot of that in the latest film. I think there's a lot more of that. I think in The Boy and the Heron, which I think is great. But the storyline itself, mixed. But yeah, so that's my favorite film. I really like Studio Ghibli films. They're always just for me. I don't know. Think about them.
So my next question is that another one that you didn't ask me, which was, what was your worst movie experience?
This is really easy, actually. I remember this really well. So me and Jess went to the Odeon and we watched Cats.
Oh my god!
And
it's
that sometimes films, there's like good bad films, right? Where they're so bad, it's funny.
Yeah.
But it was so bad, but like in a serious way, that I was so bored the whole time. I was so unbelievably bored, and it was just awful. It was just so bad. And I guess there's a storyline, but they were singing constantly and they were dancing around, and it felt like a West End theatre production, but like bad on a cinema. And
have you ever seen a theatre production of it?
Of Cats? No. It's one of the few I don't.
Are you a fan of musical theatre?
Yeah, I enjoy it. My aunts used to take us for Christmas, and we'd go see a theatre production once a year. And I'd really enjoy it. I think the atmosphere of theatre is fantastic. But I mean, we went to the Odeon, and the Odeon versus View, especially in Exeter, the Odeon is like crap. It's like a TV, and they don't really have good surround sound, and the seats are crap, and it didn't feel great. The view feels fantastic. It's full surround, nice seats.
So you're suggesting you would have enjoyed it more?
No, but it just added to this. It was so bad. It was a terrible experience, and it's one of the few times ever, if I can ever think of, that I sat there wishing for it to end. And I'd feel bad if I just went to Jess, should we just go? Because I had to see it through, and I did see it through, and it was awful the whole way, and just terrible.
All I know about it is the CG was so bad that they literally changed it within a week.
I know, everything was about it. Everything bad was so much bad about it. Like everything looked like Uncanny Valley, like
cat anuses, I believe.
No, they took those out, but there is a version with cat anuses.
Yeah, that must have been, you must have seen it a bit later on, because it was the first release, I believe, that had cat anuses.
Yeah, no, we didn't have cat anuses. Oh, it was just awful. It was just such a bad film.
Have you ever walked out of a film before?
I did when I was a kid. I think my parents took me to see. They took me to see Casino Royale. Yeah. And I don't know how old I would have been. I was maybe on the cusp. To be honest, I think I was just having an anxious moment. And then it was very distinctly, he had been poisoned in the casino, and he goes to his car to get
quite a tense moment.
And I was just too tense, and I was like, I have to go out. So I stood outside, and I must have stood there for 20 minutes. And then my parents eventually came out. I was like, where have you been? I was like, I've just been stood here. And they're like, okay, we'll go home. So we just went home.
Did you ever get around to seeing it again?
Yeah, no, I have seen it since. It's a good film, but I think it's one of those points.
I was the right point in your life.
Too much. Yeah, it was too much in that moment.
Under the 12A recommendation.
I don't know where I was, but I remember just feeling incredibly anxious, and I was just like, I've got to leave the room. Oh my god.
I have never walked out of a film. I nearly once. It was Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, which was directed by Kenneth Branagh, starring Kenneth Branagh, with Robert De Niro as Frankenstein.
Okay.
And you think, wow, Kenneth Branagh? Oh, he does theatre directing as well. He must have been fantastic. Robert De Niro, fantastic actor. Oh, this is Helena Bonham Carter as, I can't remember which character. That sounds brilliant. And I went with a friend, and we both kept looking at each other like, what the hell is this? It was so dull. Gorgeous sets, amazing actors,
But at least you've got redeeming features. I mean, I could not tell you a redeeming feature about that film, honestly.
Singing, there must have been some...
There was some singing, but
maybe... some real singers in there?
I think isn't James Corden in it? I think there's a brief moment where
that's enough to put anybody off, isn't it?
There was a brief moment with James Corden where there's a slight mood lift, and maybe that had some entertainment value. But like, I'm really stretching for any resemblance of something interesting in the film.
I mean, with me and Frankenstein, I managed to sit through it, and years later, I think I caught it was showing on television or something like that, and I watched a bit of it, and I was intrigued. It was almost like, and I haven't done it yet, but every time I get a chance to sit down and watch something, I keep thinking, I should try and track that down.
Oh, I just haven't watched it, just to see if it was as bad.
If it was I would have been 16 at that age when that came out, something like that, and maybe I just couldn't get it. I don't know.
I think there's definitely some things that I'm like, when I was younger, I'd be like, not for me, and as I've gotten older, I'm like, yeah, that's for me now. I kind of get that. Maybe I want to go back and see if it's still
maturer eyes.
Yeah.
And ears.
Well, I hope that was a very easy answer for me. That was a terrible film.
Okay, so what would you say the top film you should have seen but haven't?
Ooh, top film I should have seen but haven't. That's a difficult one. There's definitely some old films. As we discovered, there's definitely some old films I haven't seen. Goodness, rattle off some films that you think I should have seen, and we'll see if we come across any on the route.
Okay, 2001: A Space Odyssey.
I haven't seen that.
Jaws.
I have seen that.
We have seen that. Excellent.
So 2001: Space Odyssey, I haven't seen.
Okay. What else can I think
The thing is, if it's a film I want to see, I'm just going to go see it. You know, like I think one thing I have been trying to do actually, I guess it's a close aside. So I've been really trying hard to watch Stargate SG-1. I saw the film, the really old film.
Yeah.
I think that is before I was born.
Yes, it is very before you were born.
Good film.
Right.
But the box set, I really want to watch the box set, because I remember my brother watching it, and I'd like every now and again chime in and be like, oh, that looks interesting. But now as an adult, I really want to watch the box set. But you can't stream it. There's no service in the UK. I've got to say in the UK, because I think in the US it's on Netflix or Prime.
Okay.
But in the UK,
so no one's got it at the moment?
Not in the UK, unless you can find it. But I might buy it from CX and have a watch, you know. So that's one thing that I have wanted to watch for a while, but just haven't gotten around to watching it. I remember also someone I worked with was like, it's the best show ever. And like, he convinced me into watching it. Now he's convinced, I think it's in my head that like, it's a really good show, so I should watch it, kind of thing.
Alright, they've got a list here, top 100 films of all time.
Okay, we're going to go down and see. To be
honest,
I want to find one that's going to shock you that I haven't seen.
Casablanca.
Don't think I've seen that.
Schindler's List.
I've seen that.
Excellent. Okay.
Excellent. The judging. This interview's turned into a judge.
Judgmental. It's a Wonderful Life. You must have seen that.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, that's a really good film. Actually, that's a fantastic film from before I was born.
Yeah. No, that is, and you do have to.
Timeless. That is a timeless.
You have to change your head a little bit though to get the pacing and structure of it.
I don't think it's too far off. I think it's very good, personally.
Okay, Apocalypse Now.
Don't think I've seen that.
Doctor Strangelove.
Don't think I've seen that.
Okay,
oh god, this is an exercise in humiliation.
Yeah, but if you Rear Window.
No, I've never even heard of that.
It's James Stewart.
Okay.
So you're already a fan of him. It's Alfred Hitchcock. Fantastic film. There's one giant set. Basically, a photographer has broken his leg and he's in a wheelchair and he's stuck at home. All he can see is out of his back window where there's an apartment block. And he's got binoculars, and a nurse comes and visits him, or a friend, I can't remember now, it's been a while, and he witnesses what he thinks might have been a murder. And it's all filmed from within his room.
Okay.
So what you see of the apartment blocks is what you can just about see through binoculars and stuff.
Okay, so it's really from his perspective in a very real way.
That
reminds, have you seen talking of terrible films, have you seen the film The Room?
I have never seen it. I don't know if I can handle it.
I did see it. I saw it with some friends, and we did a drinking game with it. And it's a good, bad film. It's a film that you can watch and laugh at how bad it is. So, like, it's not like Cats, which is just a bad film.
Yeah, but it's not the kind of film you sit and watch on your own, is it?
No, you got to watch it with friends. You can't watch it in a really analytic way. But there's another film, I forget what it's called, but it's like the making of The Room.
Oh, it's James Franco. Oh, I think it's one of the.
You know
two
how
out of it. God,
you know the film I mean.
I know the film you mean. Can't
And
remember.
that is a great film.
Yeah.
But it's so funny that film is a great film about arguably the worst film ever.
Yeah, a great film about a bad film.
Yeah. The Room, I think, is a really good demonstration of a bad good film where it's bad, but it's really fun to watch because it is so bad. So yeah, any other films that you think I should have watched? Maybe you should set me. Maybe we should do this as a piece. You should set me a film to watch of a week, a task, if you will, and I will watch that film and give you an idea.
Yeah, that's.
I think it's probably worth. You're going to expand my horizons.
Expand your film knowledge. Platoon.
No, I don't think I've seen that.
12 Angry Men.
No.
Goodfellas.
No.
French Connection.
No. I've never heard of half of these films though. I'm not claiming also to be any kind of like.
But this is maybe what was the last two I said? I said French Connection. That's a 1971 film. It's hard to say.
It's a lot of old films.
Blade
Runner. I think I have seen Blade Runner. Yeah, I've seen the new one as well.
Toy Story's on here.
Toy Story. Yeah.
Some of the films that came out of the most recent list: Close Encounters of the Third Kind, Dances with Wolves, Fargo, Mutiny on the Bounty.
I think I've seen Fargo actually. I've seen the newer ones, but I think I've also seen the older one in
There's a TV
briefings. Yeah, I've seen
Yeah.
I think I've seen flitterings of all of the different versions because 3 different versions almost now at this point.
Well, this is a good list to actually have a look at. But anyway,
you should tell me which film to watch of a week. I think that's what we're finding out.
Going back to my question, which top films you should have watched?
Yeah.
But I haven't. Okay, so we get a little. We'll go back now to your list and favourite book.
Favourite book? Well, as you know, I don't read much.
Do you listen to books?
I do listen to audiobooks. I've done a few audiobooks. I've listened to a lot of Warhammer books. So I listened to the whole of the Siege of Terror series, which is it's in a 30k to 40k. It's like the big bit, right, where the big betrayal finally concludes and the Emperor fights Horus, the betrayer, and it's like the big ending bit, right? And he invades Earth, and it's like the last stand of humanity. It's very much that part of the film, or the series. So I've audiobooked that whole bit, and I love that. But it's a long slog.
Do you find with something like that you get a little bit lost in it sometimes? In the sense that
it's interesting.
So I can picture. I've never read a Warhammer book, but I've read other different sci-fi authors where there's hundreds of books in the series, and you just get stuck in. There's
a famous chart of all the things.
Yeah.
And it's oh my gosh, there's so many books and there's so many surroundings. The thing is, I think what really helps is I know a lot of I've just read or absorbed a lot of the background of Warhammer.
So the lore and
so I know the general, I know the broad strokes and who the characters are beforehand. So I didn't really need to introduce all these characters because I know who they are, and because it's all armies, it's all pretty obvious who's part of what army and what their general tropes are going to be like.
Yeah, because that one's a red one.
Yeah, so I know who he's going to be like. Yeah, so it's exactly like that. So I know exactly. So it's pretty easy in that. I think it has a lot of there's a lot of camaraderie, especially in the final stand. There's bits where, because it's one of I love Imperial Fists, and they're one of the last standing groups. So you have the Imperial Fists, the Blood Angels, the White Scars, and there are some Salamanders. Are these the last stand? There's a lot of at the end. There's a lot of camaraderie, especially with Zephos and there's another guy. I keep going to say Fenris, but he's not a Space Wolf name. There's 2 guys, and they're literally well, we're gonna just kill as many people as we can on this final stand, and it's really the camaraderie is insane, and the stoic nature. Whew, that gets me every time. So I say they're good books, but
But is it? I'm not trying to be rude, because like I said, I've read similar kinds of series and stuff. But would you say there's a little bit of a formula in how that comes together?
No, I think it's because what I'm about. I think it's Dan Abbott or something.
Yeah, Dan Abbott's the name I've seen on a lot of books.
I think it's his kind of work, and he's got to hit the notes right because the law's pretty established of what happens. So he's just got to hit.
Was it Dan Abbott then that wrote out the kind of general?
No, I think he wrote all the big books in
the history.
No.
That was
the thing is, people in whenever Warhammer started wrote little quips in the rule books. They're like, this happened, and like, oh, this fun fact. So you've got to hit all these notes.
So it's like somebody building up the Star Wars universe in that sense then.
Yeah, yeah.
We've got these 3 films,
Yeah.
and then we've opened up another 6 films.
But it's like
then we're going to join the dots between the...
Yeah, it's kind of like when they meant there's the Clone Wars, and people are like, what are the Clone Wars? And he's going to write the whole thing about the Clone Wars. It's kind of like that, right? But like, there's also this is how this works. So this has to be like this, or like there's a famous bit at the end where the Emperor is saved by a lone guardman. Basically, he stops Horus, and so you've got to like write in how this guardman gets to
how gets in a position to.
But it's like a famous like lore bit that this famous guardman jumps in the way and whatever.
Kind of Star Wars like retconning of it, where they've gone. Yeah, I know that person wrote this entire storyline, but we're going to say that that's just a separate.
I don't think there's any
big.
I don't think because they've had control from the beginning. I don't think there's any big. I'm sure someone's going to tell me I'm wrong, but off the top of my head, I think there's any big retcons. I think they're pretty good at writing it into the lore as like this happened because of some other. They just like wrap it in a bubble of something else. Yeah. So it's still in the lore, but there's other things that explain why that happened, and that's actually totally fine. There are some contradictions, I think. But, like, I think they're intentional contradictions. Like, there's a bit where, like... so there's some Sisters of Battle are like, oh, you can't be a psycho. And then, like, they're using psychic powers. But they didn't know they're using psychic powers, basically. Because they think it's just the Holy Lord, the Holy Emperor is, like, bestowing them. But actually, they're choosing the psychic abilities. Like, things like that happen a lot. But, yeah, I'd say they're good books. I think they're the most recent thing. Well, they're not the most recent. I'd say if I was to look at a book, I'd give a recommendation for the most recent book perhaps I've read, which is a book called Strange Pictures. It's a Japanese book, but it's been translated to English. I think that was a really good book to read. I was like, had a big shock at the end, and I thought it was like a very like dun 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 kind of thing at the end. Proper like plot twist. Oh my gosh, they're the bad guy. Like that was a really good book. I'd highly recommend that to people, but I don't read much, so I'll give a recommendation. I say.
So, board games.
Games.
I've got a feeling I'm going to get snowed under here.
Yeah. Well, there's several board games I could go on about. My favourite board game of all time, and I think it's really hard to beat, is a game called King's Dilemma, which is called a legacy board game, which means that each play session affects the next one, right? Okay. So it's like a long campaign arc, and the whole idea is that each player is like a house, a representative of a kingdom. And we all sit on the board of the council of the kingdom.
So a little bit like Game of Thrones?
Yeah, very much like Game of Thrones. And there's a lot, so the whole point is there's lore to this universe and the kingdom, and the idea is that you open an envelope, literally like rip open an envelope, it gives you a card and it says, this is happening in the kingdom. You've got to vote to things like the peasants are like, there's a famine going on. Do you like give out bread to all the people, or do you hoard it for yourselves as the so that you guys survive? And you've all got to vote basically. And
so you all have to agree.
No, you don't have to agree. You vote.
I mean, you have to vote.
Yeah, and whoever wins the vote, that's what happens. And in the back of the card says the consequences. And you have sliders for your kingdom. So there's like money and resources and food, and if they go in a certain direction too much, basically you get like overthrown because the peasants are revolt or like.
Is that game over at that point then? Or
each game session is like the king dies. There's a new generation of king. And actually a person at the table, their like descendant becomes the next king. So
depending on how that session goes.
Yeah. So I think it's like whoever has the most money becomes next king. Or something like that. I've forgotten how it goes exactly. But it's really...
So if you end up getting the peasants revolt, your character loses out on being able to be king next time?
Yeah, stuff like, like someone has to be king, but basically the idea is you've got to keep all your scales in balance for the whole game. So like maybe you don't deal with a famine, but if you do that, like if there's another card that's like a famine thing again, then the kingdom fails and you get a new king.
Yeah.
So like you're doing a lot of this stuff, and there's like a huge lore, there's super deep lore to this kingdom, and you keep revealing cards that tell you a bit about the world, and like you've got to deal with this now, and like there's a raiders from the north, how are you going to deal with that? And then like you find this like red iron.
So you're giving choices.
It's like a choose your own adventure.
More choose your own adventure.
More choose your own adventure, and but it's really interesting. It's like a choose your own adventure, absolutely, but it's like in a diplomatic way, where you as the council must choose the next step in your adventure.
So how many players roughly?
I think it's 3 to 5,
So if there's
but it's
five,
5.
of you,
You've got to play 5. You
okay,
can't
if there's
play
5 of you in it, and
Yeah.
and 2 of you vote one way and 3 vote the other way.
Yeah.
Is there a consequence to the 2 that didn't vote the same way?
No, so I think you use power tokens. So
Ah.
you have power tokens. You get your power tokens back if you lose your round or whatever. But then everyone else who's spent their power tokens, they go in the centre or whatever, and you lose them. So if you lose the vote, you get your tokens back.
But
But
that
if you
gives
win
more
the
power for the next.
for the next one, but because you've lost, you get
Right.
you get your
Okay.
you've got to
Is
really
it-
invest in what you care about. If that makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah.
So you might be like, I don't really care about this. What we had is one of the characters loves money.
Yeah.
So he would, because there's money is also a resource. So he would just to the highest bidder, like at every turn. If he didn't care about a diplomatic choice, he'd be like, whoever pays me the most, I will vote with
I
them.
will vote.
Yeah, and then there's one other person who loved war. So like any time there was war, he'd be like, yeah, we're going to war. We're like, put all the money in. We're going to war. Like, and so we all played our roles really well.
So there's an element of you being able to convince others, or make
Yeah. So like,
suggest
so
things to
you
get
kind of
them
had
on your
yeah,
side.
So you had
in the
objectives
vote.
as well.
Yeah.
You had like in your kingdom, you had objectives. So my guys were really about like knowledge, but then even knowledge that made us sad. So we learned some really horrible things about some stuff, and we were like, yes, this is what we wanted to learn. And like it's really horrific knowledge, but like that's what my character's objectives were. We wanted to learn things, and we became naval people, and it's a really really good story.
Is this something
Really
you can
tight.
only play once?
They do a refill pack,
Yeah,
but like
okay,
the
so-
actual board, so you actually even put down stickers on the board
Wow.
with like lore, and we even had a debate. There was one point where we're like, "This is what happened. We are certain." Like 2 of us, like, "This is certain. This is what this sticker under this sticker said," and that's the lore, and that had influence for what our current vote was. Because if it said it the other way around, we'd have voted the other way. But me and another guy were like, dead certain that one of these stickers said like, "Oh, this person is actually dead, so this card is inconsequential." But the other guy's like, "No, it said they weren't dead," and like so we were like debating what like in the
Did you
game.
not peel away at the stickers?
No, that's not the point. It was
I know.
the whole thing. It's like
okay, fine.
I think that made it
This
more
is-
interesting because it's like 2 generations ago, right? Like,
And
what
it's
did my
a-
grandma say
yeah,
again? Was
yeah.
that person
Well,
dead?
well,
Like,
Which is a more realistic kind of
It was
consequence,
it
isn't it?
felt-
You don't know the history, if in these
Mm.
times, and
it really felt like we were the council for a kingdom, and it really felt like we were making decisions to keep. And like, people had evil ratings. So like each house had like how evil they were and how good they were, and it just felt so good because you knew that there were some evil people and they're intentionally being evil, and some people trying to be intentionally good, and it felt like we were a genuine
So
council.
how many sessions?
We
how
played
long
it
is a
over.
session, should
We
say?
played it. So I think it can go. It depends how quickly, because you could, over a couple cards, you could just lose the kingdom. Like
Yeah.
if you just voted and just like everything craps out and just horrible. But you could go up to like a 2-hour session, I think, easily.
And then
of, like,
you
votes.
to then book in the next one with the next.
Yeah, I think
set.
there's like a thing where over if you get enough cards out, the king just dies of old age or whatever,
Yeah,
and you get a new king. Yeah. So, but I think it's 2 hours, and I think we played over like a summer of like each week, once a week, over a whole summer, and it was poor. It was blimming a game. And there's a new one coming out this October, Queen's Dilemma, which is like the sequel. It's just been like 3 years in the making, so I'm really excited to play that. That's gonna be fun. So I say that's my favourite board game of all time. It's a really, really well made board game. Yeah, highly recommend it to anyone. He's got 5 friends or 4 friends and a whole summer.
and time and energy
Yeah.
to fit it into a busy lifestyle.
No, yeah, I totally understand that.
Okay. Next one is favourite character in media.
Favourite character in media? I think I like Picard a lot. I think there's a lot in Picard that I really like because he's kind of like fair, but he's stern and fair, but there's a real sense of like optimism.
Yeah.
I think in Next Generation, there's a real feeling of that. So he's the person that jumps to mind. I know that like a lot of the troubles he have are quite light actually. You know, there's not any like deep problems, but like he
was Borgified.
Yeah, but that's like he is Borgified, and that's like the most dramatic thing that happens, right? He's not like, you know what I mean? Like it's not like it's quite light in the grand scheme of things.
Quite, yeah.
But I really enjoyed that. I think that's
he got tortured in the chain of command.
I think he's. I don't know. In the broad strokes, the episode to episode kind of stuff, it's pretty light.
If he was to look back on his worst moments, it'd probably be that episode where he had to save some children or something.
Okay.
I can't remember which one it was. That the ship got overrun and there were some children on it, and he had to kind of get them to help fight the bad guys or something.
Okay.
And he had to overcome his inability to like children. And I felt that he'd probably be happier to deal with the Borg again than have to deal with the children.
Yeah, I think there's something about that.
No,
I think there's something about the optimism. I think there's where I think some people can have blind optimism, especially if you look at a Disney film where it's like, oh, like if we're just friends, it'll fixed.
Break through. Yeah,
but like, there's a real pragmatic, like, we will find the solution. And I think that's sometimes
and it
missed
might not
in
be
today's...
something that we all agree upon, but it
it's
will
something.
be a solution.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
we'll move
We're doing
forward in the
something,
right way.
Mm.
So what character then best portrays you?
I think any generic engineer, really. I'm trying to think of some. Oh God, it's crazy being interviewed because my mind just goes blank. There's almost certainly someone out there. No, I really can't think of anyone. Oh gosh.
Okay.
You'll have to come back to me if I'm...
Such a blank person.
I know. Well, I've just my mind has gone completely blank. Goodness me.
All right. Well, this is the next question is the one that I've been waiting for all week, which is your favourite block in Minecraft? Just to show me what it is that's so bad about TNT being my favourite.
You know, I've decided I think it's the lamp block.
The lamp block.
The lamp block. And you know why I think that? It's because before the lamp block, you either had glowstone or you had torches. And I remember when it came out, and because the trick would always be glowstone and then the trapdoors.
Yeah.
And you get something. But unless you had a texture pack, didn't look very good. So and then you could also put the detector on top. You could put the light detector on top, and then it would turn on at night.
Yeah.
And bang in. And I think that added a lot of depth to the creations you could make. Because glowstone's great, but it also like it was just, you know, you'd have to break it.
You can switch on and off rather than just be on.
Yeah, yeah. So I think that's a top class.
Top tier. Okay, that's
top tier one.
That's far more interesting. Very engineering of you.
Me? Never.
An engineer.
I think actually it's also impressive. We've talked about this before, but because Minecraft is a Turing complete game, which means you can make circuits within Minecraft, it means that you can build Minecraft within Minecraft. And it's a really interesting, because I showed you the Conway's Game of Life.
Yes.
Which is a very simple game with like 4 rules, right? For how pixels interact with other pixels around it.
Yes.
But it's got the logic in there, which makes it something called Turing complete, which is it just needs a set basically of... Sorry, a motorbike just went past. It's got the set of logic that you need to create the game itself inside itself.
Yes.
So
I do remember seeing it and being...
I think your mind was slightly blown by
I couldn't focus on, because it's very simplistic. It makes me think of some old ZX Spectrum game, but there are these white blocks that are moving around that change direction, and it almost repeats on itself infinitely. I think the version you showed me.
It just zooms out. Just thinking now, I'm going to have to look this up, but I've just thought of a character I do resonate with actually.
Steve from Minecraft.
Steve from Minecraft. I haven't seen maybe I should see the Minecraft film.
No, I'm thinking more Steve from the game rather than Steve from the film.
Yes, so it's Vander from Arcane, which is the dad.
I'm not familiar.
Have you not seen Arcane?
No, it's something that I think you and somebody else has told me.
No, you must watch Arcane.
Need to watch Arcane.
You must watch Arcane.
Is that the Dungeons and Dragons?
No, League of Legends.
League of Legends. What's the Dungeons and Dragons one?
Just Dungeons and Dragons. Oh, do you mean Vox Machina?
Vox Machina.
Which is good.
Two things I keep being told by you and somebody else: Vox Machina and Arcane to watch.
I think I am generally a kind of protective guy.
Yeah.
I think obviously I'm an engineer, but I think he has like a sense of duty, which I like to think I resonate with in some aspect. I think there's a sense of community which I admire, the ability to build a community, which I'd like to, like kind of get into that kind of world of building community and fostering a sense of everyone's welcome kind of vibe. And I think that's really cool, and I respect that, and I think that's
positive, which is something that I would definitely say is a big part of you in my mind.
That's good. That's good to hear. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
So you got the Minecraft question out of the way as well.
Right. Final question then.
Oh, I'm so glad got you on the Minecraft. You thought I was going to flounder.
I did expect you to say limestone. What's Minecraft again?
I've been around Minecraft for a long time. Like I was in early secondary school when I played Minecraft, and it had just gotten into beta. It had just turned from that light. Do you remember the lime green Minecraft, where the grass is this horrible shade of green, and then it went to a normal shade of green?
Yes.
Which was alpha to beta, and I think I was just very lucky that someone in my school just picked it up really early, and then like in all schools, it just flooded through like an infection, and then everyone knew what Minecraft was very early on, to be honest.
For me, I was watching it. I've never been much of a PC gamer. I don't keep on top of these things. So I only got into playing it on the Xbox 360, showing my age again. But I used to watch YouTube videos of people playing it on PC and being so envious.
Did you watch the Yogscast stuff?
Yes, I mean that
was a very big fundamental to my life, is the Yogscast stuff and the Shadow of Israfel stuff that came after.
Yes,
which was
that
was huge.
A lot of phone time just watching these guys just do random stuff in a game.
I remember like one of my parents' like friends coming to me and being like, these people are making lots of money doing videos online. You don't even see their face. What's this all about?
Yes.
Like, just having to explain that, like, YouTube and the whole idea of, like, Let's Plays and stuff.
Who was one of the spin-off chaps from it?
Oh, there's loads of people. Yogscast are huge. They're still around, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, in the sort of mainstream time of it, there was a couple of guys that used to play together.
You had Hat Films was one of the big ones.
Oh.
You have Duncan. You have Sips and Shin.
Sips.
Sips is
Sips was a big favourite of mine.
Yeah, no, I like Sips.
He would play a lot of the modded versions.
Yeah.
And there was one that I was fascinated by, which was where you could build a quarry.
Yeah, Tech It.
Tech It. That's it. Yeah.
I actually went back to the Jaffa Factory because they're doing a new version of Jaffa Factory at the moment.
Jaffa Factory. Oh,
and they're
literally. Are you still watching it?
Oh, there's a new one. They did a new version recently.
I watched.
I still watch Yogscast.
Wow.
They have a podcast, in fact. Simon and Sips and a guy called Pyrian Flax, who I think is a Dota guy. I think is his big thing.
Yeah.
And he does a lot of Football Manager. They do a podcast. I am a avid listener of the Triforce podcast. Wow. If you want a recommendation for a good podcast.
I have to see, because as with any media, sometimes it doesn't matter how good it is for you. You just stop one day. Or you don't tune in as frequently.
And something else takes your attention. And it just it's out of your mind.
And it certainly happened with that.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, your final question.
Oh my god, you're building up suspense.
Yes. Which is your favourite Pokemon?
Oh, that's actually pretty easy. So
is it?
So I think my favourite Pokemon is Goodra.
Goodra,
you have to Google it.
Hold on, let me Google it.
So Goodra is
Can you spell it?
Nope. But it's probably how you'd expect it to be spelt. It's a pinkish, purplish dragon Pokemon. Goopy Pokemon.
Oh, it's Goodra. Okay, I'm
going to walk over to your side to confirm.
Well, no, the name's...
Yeah. Yeah, that's the one.
It isn't one I recognise.
No, you wouldn't. It's a newer generation Pokemon. I think it's either the X or Y or Black and White. I think it's the X and Y pseudo legendary. So at the end of each game, just so you have some background, at the end of each game there's, in the kind of like last bit of the wilds, there's normally a very powerful Pokemon, and they're called pseudo legendaries because they have a very high base stat. They have a very high stat, a very powerful Pokemon.
Yeah.
And Goodra is one of those Pokemon. But in my mind, Goodra, which is always a female, I know you can get male and female versions, but always a female, is like the chillest of the pseudo legendaries. All the other ones look like super scary and like kind of terrifying, and like, you know, they're like badasses. And then Goodra's just like this chill blob dragon Pokemon, but looks actually very caring in some ways, which I don't think you see a lot of with the pseudo legendaries. I mean, you've got Dragonair, who's another pseudo legendary, which is kind of like quite kind of chill and relaxed looking. But I think Goodra's like, oh, what a great Pokemon.
I mean,
and failing that,
have to describe this, it looks like some sort of tentacle monster.
Tentacle monster is a bit much. It's a purple blob dragon.
Things coming out of his head. It's drooling.
It's
and
gooey.
It has the kind of posture of the what's the creatures in Hoth?
I know what you mean. The
Tauntauns.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could split that open and it would definitely stink.
Wow. I know, I like you, Joe. What a chill guy. And then failing that...
Just it's the drool come off his cuffs.
Yeah, it's dribbling. It's just...
But why is it coming
It's
off his
gooey.
cuffs?
I don't know why. I think it's a really cool Pokemon, personally.
Okay.
Failing that, it's probably Shiny Luxury, because I think I got that in Pokemon Go, and I felt like an absolute baller.
Hold on. Shiny...
Luxury.
Is that all one?
Yeah. Oh, no, it's 2 words. Shiny Luxury.
That is like a...
It's a bit more
grey
sharp.
monkey lion thing.
Yeah. It's normally blue, but I like the... I did get in Pokemon Go, the shiny version, and I was already the Zapdos team in Pokemon Go. I keep forgetting what the teams are called. But yeah, that really went with the aesthetic, and I think it was a really cool Pokemon, so it kind of became my companion Pokemon for a long time on Pokemon Go. So yeah, those I could talk forever about other Pokemon, but those are the two big ones in my life, I'd say.
Excellent. Wow. Well, we've got through all these questions.
Well, I'm glad. I'm sorry, some of those answers were pretty poor. You put me on the spot and my mind went blank.
Made it hard for you.
I clearly
I'm
am a
sorry.
guy, and that's fine. What I'm learning is I'm not a guy for on-the-spot questions. I need time to prepare my questions, I think. Or my answers, I suppose, to questions.
Wow. Okay. So, what are you watching this? What are you doing this week? What
am I doing this week? What is my media consumption? Well, I think you're going to have to recommend some film, because you rattled off a bunch of films there, and I was like, nope. So, having one of those would definitely be in my wheelhouse. What other media am I consuming this week? I don't know, actually. I think I'll try and play... I did try and start playing Star Wars Fallen Order last time we met.
Is that the first or the second
That's
one?
the first one.
It's the first one.
I think we might have touched on that last episode, but I'm going to continue trying to play that, probably. What else? I'm watching... I've just started, actually, on Netflix. There's a TV series called The Ambassador. And I think it's Emmy nominated or something.
Right.
That looks really good. And I think we've watched 1 or 2 episodes, me and Jess, and we're really into it. So I think I'll continue watching that.
What channel was that, sorry?
I think that's Netflix.
Netflix. The Ambassador.
It's really... Or The Diplomat.
Okay.
Something like that.
The Diplomat or...
Might be The Diplomat.
Okay.
It's really good on Netflix. I'll come back to you on that next week. What about you, Mark? What's on the docket for you?
I would like to go and see the Fantastic Four movie. I think that's one of the things I really want to see.
You can tell me I'm wrong about all my opinions.
Yeah, and it's something I've been meaning to watch for a while now, and I'm wondering if I can find a way of watching, which was the Deer Hunter film I spoke about with Robert De Niro in it. It's been a very long time since I've seen it, and I saw a clip on YouTube for something, and it just made me think, I really could do with sitting and watching a kind of epic film that just draw, it's the sort of thing I would have watched on a Sunday afternoon and just got sucked into its world.
Yeah. Okay.
It's great acting. And I don't know if I've got anything else that I've got in mind at the moment. Yeah, the main thing is going to be the Fantastic Four movie.
That's fine. I think we'll definitely have. Well, as this week we've come in with some stuff we didn't expect to have watched.
No, it was a surprise to hear you'd seen that.
It was a surprise to me. I did keep
it
quiet
very well.
So I'm glad to have kept that quiet just for the podcast. But yeah, well, thank you very much. I don't know what next episode is going to entail. We're going to have to think of a different thing to do as the bulk, but I'm sure we'll find out.
We should have planned that for this. Really, this is really learning, isn't it?
We are learning on the fly, but that's fine. It's always
Next
good just to talk to you.
Plan
Mark.
it out.
We should plan it out.
The gentle listener can
just enjoy the flow and not just me going about who I relate to.
Tom will edit some of those out.
Yes, hopefully. Well, thank you very much, Mark, once again.
Thank you.
And we shall see you next time.
See you next
Goodbye.